What's going on, guys? Mike here, and today is a very special topic, and that is investing on a budget. Now, this is kind of like this is where I came from. This is like how I started my financial journey, and this is why I'm very excited to share it with you guys because I feel like there's other people in these types of situations that don't necessarily feel like they have the money in order to start investing, or they feel like it's just so little, so what's the point? Well, guess what? I'm going to show you how little contributions and just with little financial tools that we can be using to actually start our financial journey of investing. Okay, so a few topics that I want to cover are cashback credit cards. The other one is I'm in Canada, so I assume a lot of my viewers are also in Canada, and that is shopping at specific grocery stores that provide cash back, as well as I'm going to talk a little bit about high interest savings accounts. And I'm going to also talk about, and just for very small detail, is using a portion of a tax return. So, like I said, we're going to highlight these. I'm going to dive into each of them, and then I'm actually going to show you an Excel sheet on how what this looks like over a course of 30, 40 years, and how much of an actual impact it will make on your retirement without really actually investing any real money from your pocket. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the cashback credit cards. Now, I primarily use the Scotia Momentum Infinite card, which I'll link in the description below. So to the specific one that I have. Now, the reason why I really like this one is it gives you 4% cash back on groceries. Mind blowing. That's like one of the biggest expenses that I have throughout a year is groceries, right? I have a family of three. Well, guess what? 4% cash back, sign me up. So the other thing is too, is I live quite far away from a major city. So the other thing that this card also gives you is 2% cash back on gas. Again, that is like the other extremely high contributor to my cost of living, right? So again, getting 2% cash back on that, mind blowing. I personally haven't found anything better than that, guys. If you actually know of a better one, definitely make a comment below and let me know because I'll probably switch. But I personally haven't really come across anything. Now, this particular credit card also gives you 1% on everything else. So if it's not gas, if it's not groceries, 1% on everything else. And so I feel like that's massive. Like my family and I, we range from anywhere between $800 to $1,000 cash back on this credit card a year, and it pays out in November, which is amazing. I just absolutely love it. So again, this is just like one highlight of not spending on your everyday living, but then getting anywhere between $800 to $1,000 cash back that can be easily utilized to invest. Okay, so the next thing I really want to talk about is, again, like I said, obviously I'm from Canada, Canadian Biweekly Investor, and one of the grocery stores that I always shop at is the Co-op. So for those of you who don't know what that is, the Co-op is just a grocery store, and they also have gas bars all located all over Canada. So the particular reason why is of course they accumulate equity and then they pay out at the end of the year a little bit of cash back from your purchases of fuel as well as groceries. Now, my family and I, we normally average around $200 a year. So again, if we're getting $1,000 from the cashback credit card and another $200 from Co-op, well, we're already at $1,200 for the year. Now, the other thing to realize too is that when you're filling up at the Co-op gas bar or getting groceries, you're also getting 4% or 2% on your purchases as well as getting cash back from Co-op. So I'm just saying we're kind of doubling up on that aspect, right? So again, in your area, there might be something different. I'm not sure if there's going to be different grocery stores that kind of offer the same sort of perk. But if there is, definitely consider looking into them, right? Obviously, I guess if they're like, they cost a ton more compared to another one, then it's not necessarily a win for you. But like I said, definitely do your due diligence and look to see if there are perks like that in the area. Because if there is, well, $200 is $200 in my opinion. So the other thing I don't want to talk about too is a high interest savings account. So my favorite one personally is EQ Bank, and which I'll leave a description or a link there at the top right of this video. EQ Bank is a digital bank within Canada, but they offer extremely well interest on for everyday savings accounts. So right now their current savings is 2.5%, and that's not a promotion. That's just every single day 2.5%. So like you can go to some other ones like Tangerine or something, and you'll get like your 4% interest for the first 3 months, but then it goes down to like 1.25 or something, right? So like I said, I really like EQ Bank, and the reason why is because, of course, it's just an everyday savings account at 2.5%. Now, also too, at EQ Bank, they don't charge you any fees or nothing like that. So that's another thing I want to point out as well. If you're in, like, say, TD Canada Trust, and you have unlimited checking account, well, guess what? They charge you $16 a year for that thing, for that account. That's over $200 a year. So again, utilizing EQ Bank to gain you interest, which would then we can later on use for investing, you may actually also be able to lower, say, your ultimate account from, say, $16 a month down to, say, $3 again, right? So you're saving money. And if you are disciplined enough, like I was, I would transfer that that $13 into my investing account because I was spending it before. So now I'm saving it, but now I'm investing it. So I do want to kind of I haven't touched on the tax return yet. I'm aware of that, but I'm going to just kind of morph over to the Excel sheet here, and I have it highlighted as to what I want to kind of show you guys. So for this kind of example, I'm just going to use my cashback credit card, and I'm just going to budget for $500, right? $800, maybe isn't realistic, so we're just going to do $500. The other thing is here is obviously I have co-op equity or equivalent. So if you have a grocery store in the area, I'm accounting for $200 cash back for the entire year on that. And that also includes like your gas purchases as well. So the other thing that I'm highlighting is the high interest savings account. Okay, so if you have $100, if you have $500, $1,000, $2,000, if it's kind of like an emergency fund, or maybe like you never go any lower than that in your account, what you should do is take that emergency fund and put that into like EQ Bank, okay? And I actually have a referral link for EQ Bank in the description below. If you do sign up, you'll get $20, and you also will help support this channel. Just saying. But anyways, so $50, we're going to account from a high interest savings account. So like I said, if you have $100, $500, $1,000, put that into that account, because that's going to accumulate interest. And what I do every month is I actually have my EQ Bank linked to my Wealthsimple account. And so on the first of every month, and I just April 1st year, I ended up getting $20. Again, $20 is $20, and that buys me a few stocks of one of my favorite real estate REITs on the stock market, because they're only $5 a stock. So anyways, we're only going to account for $50 for that, because I don't really know. When I was kind of investing on a budget, I didn't have a large sum of money just kind of sitting around. So we're just, like I said, going to assume $50 for the entire year. And then I always remembered, when I was younger, and even in today's age, I get a few $1,000s tax return a year. So what I'm going to do is, again, investing with just kind of like on a budget. These are somewhat of a kind of free money. You didn't necessarily have to go out and work on a job to specifically get this. So I'm just going to say, even if you made like $1,000 from a tax return, maybe take half of it, or just like $500 of it, and let's just consider using that for an investment, right? So I have here totaled up for total free money. Again, this is from cashback, this is from equity from co-op, this is from your high interest savings account, and a bit from your tax return, okay? So that adds up to be $1,250 for the entire year. That's pretty good, right? We haven't really done anything yet. So the other thing that I'm also going to suggest is, when we're first starting out, even just $25 a month can make a world of a difference, okay? So I'm going to do $25 for the month, which would be $300 for the entire year, okay? So that is $1,550, and that would work out to be just under 25% of your total allowable contributions to a TFSA. You've only actually really contributed $300, and you're already at 1/4 of the way of filling up your TFSA. I think that's pretty awesome in my books. So, because right now the maximum TFSA contribution is $6,500. So So we're in this first year we're contributing 1550. So now kind of going over to the other part of this Excel sheet here, we're going to see I'm just basing this off of that at the age of 30, okay? So first year at the age of 30, we're contributing $25 a month, which is $6.25 a week, which is like a Starbucks coffee. Okay? So that's your 1550 for the year. So the next year we're going to do the exact same thing, but we're also going to increase our monthly contributions by 10%. Okay? So now we're doing 2750 a month versus the $25 a month. And of course, we still contribute our $12.50 from our free money. Now, obviously, for the demonstration, we're just going to keep using the same amount, but obviously, there's going to be fluctuations in every year, right? So, but it is what it is. We're just going to use this continuously at this point. So, you'll see here over the course of every year, we're also assuming that this is increasing by 8% return in the stock market on average. You'll see your contributions going up. Again, you're 35 years old and you're doing $40 a month. Now, I'm going to guess that, by the time you're 35, you can probably start doing more. But again, I'm just showing how little bits can actually make a massive difference, okay? So by the time we go down to the age of 65, that account would have grown from $440,000. But the crazy thing is, you only actually put in $74,000 of your own money. And that is where we started with $25, and we increased it by 10% a year, and we capped it at $360. So once we hit 360, we stopped increasing it, okay? And that grew to $440,000 by the time you were 65. And like I said, you only put in 74,000. That's in my opinion, that's crazy. Now, in reality, you'll actually probably end up with more money than this, because by the time you're in your older years, like between your 40s, when you're in your 40s, that's probably like your biggest earning years, and you're probably going to be contributing a lot more money than, say, $360 a month is my guess. But anyways, I just kind of want to show how that can just grow, and the majority of that money was basically free money, right? So I also kind of want to show the same thing, but when you started when you were 25. So this is just 5 years or sooner. So obviously, if I was in my 20s again, I would just totally start investing right away, because it's mind-blowing in how much of a difference it actually makes. But anyways, doing the exact same thing here. We're doing $25 a month. We're at that $15.50, and we're doing just the exact same scenario. We stop increasing at $360, and you'll see here at the age of 65, we're at $680,000. Okay, and you only put in $94,000 of your own money. Again, that's mind-blowing in my opinion. So again, the sooner you can start, the better, right? The sooner you start, basically you can contribute less money and you'll end up with way more. It's just mind-blowing. So I hope that was helpful. There is one more thing I just want to talk about though, and that is if you guys, again, are investing on a budget, one of the things we should always consider is when we work somewhere and they offer a group plan, okay, when they're going to match your money. That is the first thing you should always do, because in theory, if you're contributing 4% and they're paying 4%, you're getting double, like you're getting 100% return on your money. And when you're investing on a budget, there is nothing you're going to invest in that you're going to get 100% return. Even if you aren't investing on a budget, there's nothing. There's no investment that you're just going to instantly get 100% return. So, like I said, I hope this was helpful. You can kind of see how small little tools such as the cashback credit card, the co-op gas station and grocery store, high interest savings, and your tax return can all lead up to a massive difference. And just, doing $25 a week, $25 a month can just, really set you up for retirement. So obviously, I hope this was helpful. If you guys like this, definitely make sure you subscribe and hit that like button. If you have any questions or comments, definitely leave them below and I'll try to get back to you. But otherwise, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.